Cause the way I feel it ain't no limits but the speed. I trust in me and put my...
Welcome on into Booby's World with Daniel Booby Gibson, Rafa El Alcalde. I'm Nick Padone. What is going on, guys? Welcome back on into the studio.
What's up, man? What's up? I mean, just coming back from the gym, man, seeing some guys working out. It's getting exciting. I'm thinking, like, there's some players that's been in the gym lately that I feel like the Cavs could potentially use. So this is just an exciting part for me. It's like a new chapter of me learning how to scout and hoping that I can find guys that can help the team build. But it's been fun this summer.
Just to be clear and to let our audience know what you mean when you say you've been at the gym. To me, I've been at the gym is riding my bike and trying to share some LBs. Right?
Yeah.
For you, is you're working out kids that are looking to make it into the NBA. So basically, you're going back in time.
For sure. And that's the exact reason why I took the job, because I felt like me having the experience of going through it before, now I could tell this guy what to expect. It was a kid named Bryce Griggs who grew up in Houston, idolized me for a while, played at OTE, and then he came in for a workout. And like when he saw me, I just saw him kind of just like relax. You know, at first he looked a little nervous, but then when he saw me, he relaxed, and I just put all that confidence in him, and he ended up having a great workout. And I feel like that's important at this stage, because I don't think you can really put into words like how much pressure these kids feel to perform at a high level, because everything they've worked for up until this point is on the line right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? To try to get onto a team. So,
and it doesn't matter what industry or what part of the world or life you look into. The fact that if you have somebody that has been through it, to tell you about it, it makes you feel better. It makes a broadcast better when you have a color guy that has played. It makes a guy who's working out to make it into the NBA better, because he can pick your brains about, how you feel nervous, how you beat those nerves, So I think that's really fun to see.
That's what it's all about.
For sure. And we're going to just ignore the fact that Raf has that TTUN shirt on.
Oh, my
over
God.
there.
Hey, listen. hey. Ohio fans, I had nothing to do with it. I
didn't understand how bad the rivalry was until I came to this city.
I'm telling you, I would never.
And people think of me different when I like to make some blue. What can I do?
I made the mistake this year of just grabbing a hat out of my closet.
Oh, no.
And going to a Cavs game. It was a Pittsburgh Steelers hat. I ain't even really look. He about to pass.
Because I know you got that. You got that Browns hat that you wear.
Yeah, that's what I rock all the time. But I didn't. Matter of fact, what happened was, coming back out here, I didn't have like my normal collection of fitteds. So I really just went in the closet, threw one on, thinking it'd be cool. And I'm like sitting courtside, so like I'm in front of everybody at the game and all that.
But
I'm surprised they throw popcorn.
Ohio State, Michigan, they do have a beef because, the Michigan just barely started beating them 2 years ago, right? Yeah. 2 years in a row. But like the Steelers, Browns, I don't get, because you're just mad that they keep beating you all the time. So until the Browns can actually do something about it, I have a Three Rivers Stadium T-shirt, and I get so much hate for it, man.
But
it's that was one of the coolest stadiums.
I gotta fight you on that one, because I think the reason that it is because Cleveland just die hard loyal. Like,
I know,
that's where the anger
die
come
hard
from.
loyal, but the Steelers are win hard.
Yeah,
loyal.
But at the same time, like me experiencing it though, me being in it, and like going against teams that like obviously we don't have no rivalry with. We have been losing, but our fans, they showing up and showing out. So that's why if they gonna rock with you while you losing, they like at least put some respect on our name. And don't
I can tell you something.
Colors,
While the Browns have had Spanish broadcasts, they have a winning record against Pittsburgh, and they have made it to the playoff every year. So I don't know if you're listening somewhere in there.
Yeah, maybe they want to stop right down Rafa over there.
And Myles Garrett pick out his hat, his helmet, and took his business with what's his name?
Mason Rudolph. Yeah. All right, we're gonna stop Rob while he's ahead. Kind of ruffling the feathers, man.
He got the Michigan shirt on.
Talking about Three Rivers.
Chill, right?
So
Chill.
today's show is all about teammates and
Yes,
team
sir.
chemistry. And as you guys can tell, we got a pretty good team chemistry
Oh, yeah.
here on the show. Booby, you talked a little bit ago, a couple episodes back, about just the importance of camaraderie. Obviously, this Cavs unit that we just saw this past season, a super tight group. What kind of things did you guys do when you were with the Cavs back in the day that kind of strengthened that team bond?
Man, I give credit to me, my greatest teammate ever, LeBron James. Coming into my rookie year, I didn't even know what to expect from the league. You just going in, just playing the hoop. And what he did from day one, he invited me to a party with his kids and his family, had us in the back room. And as soon as I walked in the room, you see Shannon Brown, you see Anderson Varejao, you see Larry Hughes, you see all these guys. And I didn't know what he was doing at the time. But now that I've matured, now I know he was just bringing guys together and just developing that chemistry and that camaraderie off the floor. Because you don't really know what it's like until you're in a building of 25,000 and it's just y'all as a team, and you got to figure out a way to win, and you got to know who you can trust in those moments. So Bron did that early, just putting guys together, and that team ended up going to the finals that year, and everybody say we had no chance against the Spurs, but it was because we created that culture of togetherness, and it didn't matter if we were down on the road, it didn't matter what we were up against. We knew we called it a bunker mentality with Coach Brown, that we was gonna fight with each other regardless, and I feel like that's important.
It's very important to have that leader, and I think it kind of reflects to what we have right now with the Cavaliers, the winning culture, even though it's a totally different culture that we've been trying to rebuild from the 2018, 4 years straight to the finals, and that's something I think, not only you have to be lucky, but you have to have great scouting.
Yep.
You have to have a little luck, but you have to be able to realize what you are trying to keep from what you have gotten along the way for those 4 years.
Yep.
Everything changed. Obviously, there's no longer number 23, but there is that feeling of what you want to construct, right? And J.B. Bickerstaff came in, instilled the core values that everybody was responsible for. Yep. And the best part about it is that those 5 core values that we have are 5 core values that you don't need help from anybody to be able to fulfill your part, right? Everybody has to compete. Everybody has to be together. Everybody has to get one more. And I think you have the leaders in Garland, in Don, and those are the guys that people follow.
Absolutely.
Right? And you have the young guys that we have gotten through the draft, and Mobley, and we got the trade with the Pro and everything. So I think all those small pieces that, in a way, you have to give credit to Kobe to be able to put all that together. And now you keep building on it. Now that togetherness is what's going to help keep that bad taste in the mouth throughout the whole season next year, because now we know where we've been, and now we know where we fail, and now we know what we have to get better at.
Yeah, it's a long year. It's a long year. And so when you have that togetherness, like Raf is saying, it just keeps you locked in through the bad times. Everybody don't jump ship when things start to go wrong. And I feel like the prime example of what we witnessing right now with that is the Heat culture, right? Mm-hmm. When you think about Jimmy Butler, they lose the first game on the road, and I think Strus is like 0 for 9. Gabe Vince is like 0 for whatever.
Martin didn't do anything,
yeah. The first thing he said in the interview was, yeah, if I would have played better, we would have won. Like, after game 6, before they played Boston. Like, that's a no-excuse locker room. That means you've created a culture where your leader, he's going to take responsibility for everything on the floor. And if a guy's not getting minutes at any time, he's not complaining. And that creates what I feel like we've created as Cavaliers now to build on, and at some point reach that level of competition.
And you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from these finals as a Cavaliers fan. First of all, the culture, the winning culture, the system that Miami runs, right? The consistency they have had at the top that we are learning and we're starting to have here in Cleveland. But also on the other side,
there you go.
You get the Denver Nuggets, who any other city, if it was the Cleveland Nuggets, the fans would have fired Mike Malone a long time ago, right? They went to 2 conference finals, and they
because he was here for a minute.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that front office has stuck to the guns, and they have the 2 leaders, the duo that we're gonna be talking about later,
right?
And then they just keep building around, and you cannot give up on your job, on your work of years. It takes years. It's nothing. Nobody has ever won overnight. Not even the GOAT that everybody says is Michael Jordan won overnight. Not even LeBron won overnight. Nobody has come in and in this sport to come in and say, you know what, let's put this group together and win a title.
Well, we're going to talk about some winners. We're going to snag a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we have Booby 4-3. You know, our guys are usually pretty agreeable when they rank their top 3. I think today might change some things. More Booby's World straight ahead.
Booby.
Stay with us.
There's what's his name? He used to coach the Grizzlies. He looks like him.
Which one?
What's his name?
Fitz. He just got
Fitzgerald.
He just got the job at Phoenix.
Welcome on back into Booby's World. It's Daniel Booby Gibson, Rafa El Alcalde. I'm Nick Padone. Every week we do our Booby 4-3 segment where the guys rank their top 3 of whatever they want to talk about. Booby's taking the glasses off.
You know,
here.
when I take the glasses off, you know what's going on. I gotta see Roth, make sure he don't pick 4 and 5 options on this joint.
So today we're going to rank the top 3 duos in the NBA. And you'll realize intentionally at some of our pre-production meetings, we've left out if this is present day or all time. I'm going to throw it to you guys. The top 3 duos in the NBA. Ralph, I know you had some thoughts.
I can tell you, as of right now, there's not one present duo that can be considered as an all-time duo, for many reasons. First of all, I will never pick Curry and Thompson because, 73 don't mean a thing without a ring.
Only the greatest shooters of all time.
And I will never pick a Warriors duo. I put it on the table.
Well, at least at some point you go hold Ohio down. Because earlier I was worried. You had Michigan. You was taking care of Pittsburgh. I like that. I like that.
No, I will never pick anybody from the Warriors, especially. And not only that, like I say, 73 don't mean a thing without the ring.
There we go.
And then if you look at currently, just so I can lay the table here, there's the duo in Philadelphia that we don't know if it's going to continue, right? Because he opted out of his year. That doesn't mean he's not going to come back. Harden and Embiid. There's that duo in Boston that everybody's looking to break up, and in Tatum and Brown.
That's true.
There's the duo in Phoenix that we still don't know what they're going to be capable of doing in Durant and Booker.
Yeah.
And to me, there's a fourth duo in the finals right now. In Jokic and Murray, who finally made it to the finals,
staked their
and
claim.
we still don't know if they're going to be. Other than that, everybody brings the LeBron and AD duo. To me, it's still in the making. They have a title.
They only won a championship.
They have a title, but it's not like they play together every day.
Nah, that's the thing that's the only thing that I feel like holds them back. There's just no consistency of seeing them on the court together. Like, you don't get a lot of AD and Bron. Like, you might get a great AD game one, and then you got a great LeBron game. You never really see them play together. So I'm with you on that. And as far as the all-time, the duos in the league right now, I'm with you. I feel like the Tatum Brown duo might be coming to an end. I don't know, because I just feel like the chemistry is off. But with KD and Book, just watching them play this year,
they got the potential of just being an all-time duo if they stick together. The other thing is now that nobody lasts more than 5 years playing together now.
True. But the good thing about it is KD, I don't think he got like 3-4 years left on his contract. Yeah. So this is, I feel like he's at the end of his career. And then Book, I feel like he's in the prime of his career, and they're not going to let him go. Yeah. So this summer, they'll have an opportunity to build and put a team around that crew, and we'll be able to have a better look at what that feels like. But I want to know what you think about like all-time duos, though. I want to know who.
That's what I mean. So I'm not gonna go too far back with you and bring you the Russell Cousy, because then everybody's gonna be like, oh, back in those days.
I'm here for it.
Who's the one that said that like they were playing with like plumbers and carpenters when Cousy?
Yeah, they was.
But come on, but they played in their era, and I think Bill Russell right now will be the Bill Russell that he was.
So you was like,
I'm not gonna give you Wilt and
Archibald.
Wilt, yeah. But I think, and I don't know, put it in any order, right? But for sure, Kobe and Shaq have to be there.
Yeah, that was my number one.
Have to be there. I don't care where you put him in the list.
I was worried.
Kobe and Shaq. And I'm sorry to stay in LA, but Magic and Kareem.
That's big.
It's a duo that has to be. And then I have to throw you if you look under my colors, Michael and Bird to me is what taught me about basketball.
I got you. Nah.
That's what taught me about
basketball. It's hard for me to hear an all-time list and not hear Mike.
And Pippen?
Yeah. How do you win 6 championships together and not be...
I was never a fan of the Bulls, so that's probably why I will never include Michael Jordan.
Especially two guys, but important to remember that Mike kind of needed Scottie. The winning didn't start until Scottie arrived.
Yeah, they obviously hate each other now. I don't know what happened when they was playing.
But is Pippen considered anywhere close to Kobe and Shaq and Magic and Kareem, any of those 4?
No, absolutely not. But the only reason...
is he in the top 75 list?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is?
Yeah,
Pippen is?
Yeah, he is. Okay. And so the thing about it, the reason why I just can't, I don't really want to give Pippen much love because the fact that he called Mike Jordan a horrible player. What are you doing? You don't win any of those championships without Jordan.
Yeah.
But it's just that Jordan is so great. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give Pippen the opportunity really to do a lot offensively for that team. I think Jordan led the league in scoring for 9 years straight. So really he just needed Pippen to guard the other team's best guy. And I saw a clip on the gram the other day where Jordan was guarding Kobe and he was tired. I don't know what it was, but he you go get that motherfucker. and then
that's teamwork though.
Right, but that's what I mean. That's a nice duo to have when you got a guy that you can just go get him.
You're the one that's only shooting for 3, so I got to cut it down to 3.
Yeah. I just didn't like.
What else you got?
What other duo?
Yeah.
I mean, I could throw in there, the team that spanked us. You can go Duncan Robinson or Duncan Parker. Yeah.
Tim Duncan and
I gotta reward championships, man, because it's so hard. It's just so hard to do.
It's so difficult to talk NBA duos of all time and not mention Malone and Stockton.
Yeah,
right. They need to win a title because of the guy you were just talking about.
That's what happens.
But come on, Malone and Stockton.
That's what happens.
Leaders in scoring and assists. I mean, the Malone is 3 right now in the list, something like that? And Stockton is up there and number 1 in assists with Magic. So. It's hard, but obviously the titles have to be put into.
That was separated because it's so hard to do. So when you can get 2 guys that come together and go win one, I mean, you know me, I'm gonna be. You said recency bias. I'm gonna go with I like Kyrie and Bron. Yeah. I like Kyrie and D Wade. I like Steph and KD. I like them above probably the Bird, McHale, 2 that you know. They got a lot of championships, but
they got 3 titles though.
Yeah.
And they changed the.
Steph and KD got a few.
But they again. I'm not gonna pick Warriors here anyway. Too. I'm not gonna pick Warriors anyway. But Bird McHale was in that era that changed the game.
Yeah,
that kind of put it in a tray for Michael to just take it to the next.
Yeah,
level, right. They revived the league. They were 2 guys, especially Bird, and nobody really thought when people think about all-time players. They give Bird kind of like a little shade because for whatever the reason, but he was an amazing basketball player.
He carried the torch, man. It's and that's kind of how I pick my greats. And when everybody asks me who's my favorite player of all time, I just go from eras. You know what I mean? I go Wilt to Bill to Magic to Bird to Jordan to Kobe, Shaq, Bron. Curry, you know what I mean? That's how I label my GOATs because it's just so hard to compare them all, even though I've slightly given LeBron the edge over everybody now, just cause.
And it's funny how in the original Big 3, the original team that actually started coming together with Garnett, Allen, and Pierce doesn't even get mentioned in the conversation. Yeah, those 2. But Garnett was an amazing player.
Yeah. I don't like them at all.
Yeah.
You struck a chord there.
They will never get a vote from me. Just like you said, the Warriors, the Celtics will never.
You know what? Oh, Game 7? I was watching Game 7 Heat Celtics. Yeah. I was watching the game, and then the camera went straight to Paul Pierce, and I said, that's it. Celtics are losing.
He was over there hurt.
That's it. The Celtics are going down.
He knew it, though.
Pierce is in the building.
He knew it. He bring that bad luck. Ever since he left on that wheelchair, it's been all bad. It's been all bad. Then they say he left on a wheelchair because he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. That was it.
I knew you were going I had to touch that,
Yeah, I love anytime I can see the Celtics go down. Shout out to the Celtics.
Man, we have totally found a few things on the show today. I mean, with you in the Michigan shirt and talking about the other Pittsburgh shirt that you have, and struck a chord with Booby in Boston.
I have a Ben Roethlisberger signed jersey, by the way. I know you hate it.
How'd you come up with that?
I know you hate him. When I was on my NFL days,
this just keeps getting better and better.
I have a Tom Brady sign.
I'm like wincing a little bit. Like I kind of wish he would stop talking.
Just so everybody knows,
I'm
a Jets fan by birth. I'm like, I became a Jets fan during the sack exchange, and I always tell people that when they talk about Cleveland getting their heart broken in the conference finals, before Cleveland got their heart broken, New York Jets fans were heartbroken as well when Mark Gastineau hit Bernie Kosar late, and then they went to overtime.
I played that on Madden. I played that.
I'm going to save Rafa from himself here, and we're going to snag another commercial break. When we come back, we're going down memory lane with Booby. Talk a little bit more about those old Cavs teams that you remember. Obviously, they had a little bit of fun with Paul Pierce and those guys, so we'll talk a little bit about those memories when we come back with more Booby's World straight ahead.
I never understood why they hate Pittsburgh here. Obviously, I know that.
And like you said, getting spanked by a team close
when
by.
They put the logo and everybody boos. It's like, dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like this city is just like locked in. Like we
Locked
still
in.
through the break. We still under there. Hey, Cleveland, I got y'all back.
Man. Can't go to break, man.
Welcome on back to Booby's World. Daniel Booby Gibson, Rafa El Alcalde. They were right, arguing through the break. We're going to go down memory lane here. A lighter way to end the show quickly. Booby, was there a veteran that kind of took you under his wing your rookie year? I know you're talking about now the scouting piece that you guys are up to and kind of mentoring some of these guys. Talk a little bit about LeBron, but was there anybody in particular that kind of just taught you, maybe even it wasn't like a full-on mentorship, but just kind of looked out for you here and there?
Yeah, outside of LeBron, I probably would say it for sure was not Eric Snow. I feel like E. Snow, love him to death. Still consider my mentor, but I feel like he was trying to sabotage my whole campaign. Like we'll have
reverse mentoring.
Yeah, reverse mentor. Like we'll have practice at 9, and he'll be like, you gotta rookie duties. You gotta bring the newspaper and the Dunkin' and the donuts before, and they know that it's only one place that you can get the Krispy Kremes from that's hot at a certain time. So it just made me getting to practice tough. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, we can't do this. Like you trying to make me like lose my job, but yeah, it's not happening. So go ahead.
Was there ever like a glue guy also is another question? You talk about some of these just big personalities. Was there ever a glue guy kept everybody together?
Anderson Varejao. Anderson Vera, we call him the wild thing on the court, but he the wild thing everywhere. He just
Andy was too, right?
Yeah, like guys that just had a certain aura about them that they didn't say a whole lot, but you just respect them when they spoke. And with Andy, getting on the floor with him every night and just seeing how hard he played, I added that to my game. I started taking charges. I started falling on the floor, hustling for the ball, just seeing the love and the energy he was bringing to the game. And he ended up helping my career last a whole lot longer just from being
and
one of my
that takes you
vets.
back to that unity, that togetherness, that you feel bad if you're not giving it a whole 150% because everybody else is. But like it's funny, because Andy always talks about the way Z took him under his wing when he came to Cleveland, and he did things that he didn't really have to do,
right?
But he wanted to do it for the benefit of the team. And I think that is the great, to me, as a fan and as a broadcaster, and I've been in the business for 25 years, it's great to see how you guys pay forward.
Yeah.
How that is one thing that never gets forgotten.
Yeah.
The little things that maybe the people doing it for you didn't really think it was something that was going to make a difference. But I love to see how players just pay forward when the new kids come in.
I think it's just because we all know just how hard it is, man. It's 450 guys out of everybody across the world that's playing in that league. So I think I got to give love to Larry Hughes on that note because Larry Hughes off the court really showed me how to handle myself and be a man. So I got to give him love in that regard. But, yeah, it's always great to have mentors, and that's exactly why I do what I do because I want to make sure pay it forward.
Yeah, and another important thing is for the fans to come to the games and they see the bench 1 to 17 now. even those two G League guys, those two-way guys, are very important to the everyday operation of the team. Those guys are just as big part as the 5 guys that are starting the game.
Got to have guys bringing energy, and you got to have every single player bought in, and that comes from the mentors to the last guy on the bench. But it starts with guys paying it forward and being willing to let these young guys know how they should operate on the floor and off. For sure.
Because they're all competitors. Like, I give you an example. That whole junkyard dog chain, that started with Lamar Stevens on the bench, and he was the leader. Before Don and Garland started growing up, and Lamar was the veteran, the 4-year guy who wasn't drafted, the dude who was thankful every day for coming in and being an NBA player. So he made everybody play hard. And I think that is one of the great things that you don't see as a fan, the everyday today thing, the sharing a meal on the road, the guy who is keeping everybody loose, the glue that you were talking about, Nick. When we were winning championship, when Channing Frye came in, like, he's the guy that came in and loosened everybody up. And he's the guy that came in and just started cracking jokes and just started poking on Braun and Kevin and everybody. And that's the togetherness that shows up on the court later.
You got to just have those selfless guys that are all about the team, guys that just build chemistry. Because if everybody's out there for themselves, then you end up like a lot of these teams just not making the playoffs and just playing for stats.
And then you have, like, for the way this team has been built, J.B. Bickerstaff always gave credit to Rubio and Love, who were 2 guys that had the credentials to start on any other team. As proof is, Caleb is starting now for Miami in the finals. And they took the role that they were given, and they took it to heart. And then what J.B. used to say was, not only it helped because everybody's buying into it, but the fact that I can hold these 2 guys accountable makes it easy for me to hold the 2-year guys, the 2nd-year guys, the 3rd-year guys, because these are veterans of double-digit years who could be starting. One of them had just come from the Olympics, almost beating the U.S. by himself, Enrique, and Kevin, who is still, I would say, a Hall of Famer right now, right? And that's what needs to happen as a unit. Everybody has a role to buy into, and everybody has a role to play. And when everybody does it together, that's when things come happen. And that's part of the culture. That's part of the system that is being built here.
Absolutely.
All right, well, speaking of finding the right teammate, the show has a lot of fun stuff in the works coming up. We have a little dating segment on the horizon.
Where's my camera? Which one is my camera? To all you ladies out there, and all you guys that know ladies that are looking for love, that are looking for the right man, please send your video, send your request to be part of the dating game that we're about to have here for Booby. We are looking for, we are trying to get Booby from looking for love in all the wrong places and come looking for it here in Booby's world. So, ladies, please send your videos and let us know why you want to meet and have a date with my man, Daniel Booby Gibson.
I love
it. Is that a good pitch?
Nah, that was a great pitch, man. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a private setup. We're gonna have a speed date. We're gonna find like 10 to 20 beautiful women. We're gonna bring some guys along. We're gonna have a speed dating setup to try to help me figure this thing out.
And one important thing, there's no requirement. Booby is willing to just meet the right woman, right?
It don't matter. I like them big. I like them small. I like white, black, Asian. It don't matter.
Question for you. We're talking about dating, like speed dating. Is there a possibility that there'll be a woman, like let's say the 4th lady you meet that will just make you say, you know what, stop this.
It might.
I'm done.
It might, because I think I think a lot of people look at and they think I just want like the Hollywood like type situation. Like, no, like if we can connect, if we can vibe, it don't matter where you from, what you do. That's all I'm looking for. Somebody just bring me some peace. So I want to have conversations. I mean, if you ain't 280, she ain't a lady. You know what I'm saying? Bring her through.
Send us your videos. Where are we requesting?
Oh yeah, send the videos. DM any videos or anybody that want to be a part of it to the Booby's World Show on Instagram. Just send them in.
Or Twitter too.
Yeah, Twitter's World, Booby's World Show, and then we'll figure it out from there. We'll find some lucky candidates and see what we can do.
Start setting them up, boys. So.
Early bird eats the worm, right?
Early pimp get the perm.
On that note, thank you everyone so much for tuning in to another episode of Booby's World. We will see you guys next time. Till then, see ya.
Whoa. On this road to success, ain't no stops made. Ain't no room for doubt either, so you must believe. Cause the way I feel it, ain't no limits but the speed. I trust in me and put my